something completely different.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Chandler Parsons on the Run It Back show revealed some things about Luka Dončić, like how he settled on a house about a week ago, Luka being in tears when he found out about the trade, and he also texted Mark Cuban to get his reaction about Luka's trade.
My biggest issue was professionally, respectfully, how they handled that. Me and Lou were good players. Lou, much better than I was. And Luka, his career has been unbelievable. Most of those star players have a dynamic and a dialogue with front office, with ownership on what's going to happen. I find it extremely disrespectful. I find it horrific bad business for you just to go and do this. And I'm also not buying that Jay Kidd just didn't know. I know you have to keep...
Yeah, it's very weird. That's a very bad general manager in Nico Harrison if he really didn't tell Jason Kidd.
In-house, I know you have to keep it close, tight.
Sort of like how they claim LeBron didn't know.
Especially nowadays with social media, and Sham somehow gets in there and finds everything out. But I just think this is bad business when you draft this guy. This dude just bought a $15 million house, just closed like last week in Dallas. Apparently he cried like when he found out. And this is your everything, who took you to the conference.
Yeah, do you really need to add that in there?
His finals last year. I just find it extreme BS, and I think the narrative needs to change around when players make decisions like this to understand that more. That's better for their future, their family, their life. Still saying Nico did this because he thinks it's better for the map. So
yeah, I mean, I kind of get why he did it, that Luka doesn't really take care of himself, and Luka kind of, is fat, and they didn't want to pay him the maximum $315 million in extension, but you have a once-in-a-lifetime player, and you screw that up. I've seen this joke set over and over online, but it was almost like Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys took over the Dallas Mavericks.
It's not a consistent thing, and we always get caught up on the player leaving. He's a bad guy. Like Jimmy Butler wants to be traded right now, probably for a real reason. Like he's off the hook a little bit, in my opinion, now, just based on this one move.
I do agree with that. Like Pat Riley seems like your typical douchebag boomer.
Texted him, and I said, I'm so confused, and he wrote back, that makes two of us. So that kind of tells you right there he wasn't involved. And by the way, this new ownership, Patrick Dumont and Adelson family, they're business people, right? They're Vegas casino.
Yeah, they care more about the money than the actual team.
Real estate moguls. They know nothing about the NBA and basketball, so they have fully given Nico the keys to do decisions. And
yeah, Nico reminds me of some bosses I used to have in radio where it's just soulless decisions off of money and nothing about the content.
Make big, bold moves like this. So I believe Mark. I think this is just more of a shock. The comment he said now is coming to light about, filing on Monday, which obviously is getting pulled back to light. But yeah, I mean, I texted him and he literally said that makes two of us. So he's...
All right, so there's that. And then right now on Hoppe's Hoops, there is this right here with Nikola Jokic.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
As we know, Nikola Jokic and Luka Dončić are really
they say Jokic. I like saying Jokic.
As we know, Nikola Jokic and Luka Dončić are really close friends, and I'm adding commentary to this one because you couldn't actually hear what the reporters were saying unless you had the speakers up to 100 volume.
Yeah, I don't get why, the NBA press conferences, NFL, MLB, NHL, any of the leagues, whenever they have these press conferences and they can't, figure out how to make the mic sound better. I used to have to edit the audio when I worked on Pat and Aaron, and it would be the day after a Buccaneers game, and they'd be like, the mic, okay, so they'd be like this. They'd be like, let me turn my head from the mic. So, Todd Bowles, when you couldn't figure out how to win the game when it mattered, what went wrong? The reporter wasn't talking into the mic, and then he would talk like this. It was really irritating.
Couldn't actually hear what the reporters were saying unless you had the speakers up to 100 volume. But the first question was if he had reached out to Luka Dončić and what his thoughts on the trade were.
I didn't. I texted him. He felt it. I mean, of course, I think he didn't expect it, of course.
No one did. I'll never forget where I was when that happened. I was naked in a bathtub, looking at my phone, and I went, what?
I think he just needs to be with his family right now. It's a big move. It's a business. I don't know. I think nobody expected, especially not him. I think nobody's safe in the league. It seems like.
Yeah, that's kind of the weird part. It kind of reminds me of radio.
But I think he's gonna do a good job.
Yeah, he's gonna probably won a ring in LA, let's be honest here.
I think he's the player for the big scene, even though I thought in Dallas he had something special going.
And the second question was if this trade opened up his eyes to the business side of things, and the reporter added some longer words in it that Nikola Jokic didn't quite understand until he simplified it for him.
You said a lot of words that I don't understand. Translation, what it means, transfer, I think, I really don't know what to answer. I think...
I love him.
No,
people say I look like him. I dig it.
One team wanted to change and the other team wanted to change and they wanted to make something big and they did it. I think it's it's definitely one of the biggest trades probably in I'm not going to say in history, but let's say last 5, 10, 15,
it's pretty much up there.
15 years,
It's like the Chris Paul Lakers trade that didn't happen. All right, so there's that. And here is JJ Redick.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
JJ Redick, a former teammate of Luka Dončić's on the Dallas Mavericks, and now he's head coach on the Lakers.
Yeah, it's got to be weird.
Reacts to the star players' trade to the Lakers.
Yeah, obviously I got word that day that it was happening, and certainly a lot of mixed emotions, particularly around the loss of family members. And, AD, Max, Jalen, like they were part of our family.
Yeah, it's kind of the hard part about whenever you work any job. Well, this should teach anybody out there that your job is not you. You work at your job, but if your job is you and it's taken from you, you lose your identity.
And then there was also the excitement of getting a Luka Dončić and adding Maxey and Markieff. And, it is, as much as we can hyperbolize this trade as the craziest trade in sports history, it really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to trade for a player of Luka's caliber in his prime.
Obviously, there is the one element of the business side, and then to your point, the human side. How do you balance and process those emotions as you do have a job to do?
I try to do it with empathy, and I try to, as best I can, give our players empathy, and the players that were traded empathy, and also the players we just traded for empathy. Like I've lived through a lot of trade deadlines. I've been traded twice. I've had really close friends traded, and I recognize that you don't wave a magic wand and everything's okay a day later. Like this is something that is a process and it takes time, and our group's committed to making sure we get this right.
When it comes to the magnitude, as you just touched on, you're also a historian of the game. You're a fan of the game. Have you had a moment to be able to just kind of step back and really feel what just happened?
Yeah, JJ Redick knows his basketball.
Unfortunately for me, this last month has been a lot, so I'm not in the reflective process.
Yeah, his house burned down.
Reflective mood yet. My job is to coach this team tonight, try to get Luka acclimated, and
that's what I like about JJ Redick is he's in the moment,
and get him back on the court and continue to build what we've built over the last month as we head into All-Star break.
Obviously, as a former teammate of his, now speaking of Luka, what excites you most to coach him?
Playing against Luka, playing with Luka, playing against LeBron, coaching LeBron, playing against Kobe.
We got it.
Like the killer mentality, the competitive nature. Rob mentioned his alter ego on the court. And
I think I'm going to be a Lakers fan. I don't want to sound like a bandwagoner, but I can't root for the Bulls because they're so bad. But the thing is, I was a huge Kobe Bryant fan growing up because I felt like he was my version of Jordan because I was a little too young for Jordan because I was born in '93, and that makes a lot of my listeners feel old. And I used to talk to my uncle on the phone during Lakers games and cried in 2010 when they won and came back from 15 down against the Celtics in Game 7. So I've been really wanting to root for the Lakers, and I think I will. Here is Anthony Davis reacting to the trade.
I was shocked. Everyone else? Like I said, I didn't know. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife.
Yeah, about to pop in Super Mario Brothers.
And got the phone call. So I had no idea. I just sent, the team.
I was in shock when it happened. I can't imagine being one of the players.
Text about congratulations on the win against the Knicks, big win, and then looking forward to Tuesday's game against the Clippers as far as standing purposes. And then found out like an hour later I was no longer with the team. So
It's weird seeing Anthony Davis in a Mavericks uniform.
I was in shock, obviously. I had no idea that was happening.
All right, so there's that. And then, let me see here. Luka Dončić said they got rid of everybody I like. So there's this post from ESPN. The Mavericks had frustrations with his habits on and off the court. And if Luka wasn't going to change, the Mavericks figured they would prod him of making changes around him. In August 2023, the team fired former director of player health and performance, Casey Smith, who has since been hired by Jalen Brunson's Knicks. After last season, the Mavs fired strength coach Jeremy and mental and manual therapist Casey Spangler. All of them had been friends with Dončić. So they pretty much got rid of everybody they liked to bring in their new guys when they got these new owners, and it didn't work. Kind of like radio. All right, here is the press conference of Luka.
Luka, welcome to Los Angeles.
Wow, they have good microphones. A good job.
Luka, welcome to Los Angeles. I'm curious, what's your reaction been the last 48 hours to some of the comments coming from Dallas on your way out the door?
Oh, here we go.
To join the Lakers.
I'm just excited, to be here to start.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man.
This new journey, and obviously, at some point I knew this was going to happen, but I would say I always take the high road. I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and the most importantly, the fans. They always supported me, and it was an amazing journey.
Luka, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. So you wrote a Dear Dallas letter to fans that was, very heartfelt.
Yeah, this guy sounds real sad.
And you talked a little bit about, your shock. How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular, or the decision to trade you?
Well, that's their decision, so I have no comment on that. They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
And then one of the reasons that was given was that there was concern that, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not. It's easy as.
Sorry. Do you think you had something to prove?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, that's it. Win the championship. You don't come here for nothing else than championship. So I have everything left to prove. So, and the goal is to win the championship. Everybody was surprised. So you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep. So when I got a call, I had to check. It was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first.
Rob, the GM of the Lakers, looks really happy to have him.
And it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home, so it was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. But as I said, I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey. Yeah, I would say, like you said, I thought I was going to spend my whole career there.
Yeah.
Because I think loyalty is a big word for me.
Oh, jeez.
And I was trying to stay by that.
Yeah, that's a shot at the Mavs. Love it.
But this for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing.
I think it's going to be really good for him. I think if LeBron can get into his head about getting into shape, like LeBron spends $1 million a year on his body. If Luka can take care of his body, oh my.
And I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me.
He's so adorable.
But really, I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting to play for the Lakers. Now everybody can say that. And many, many legends pass here, many, many championships.
I'm wondering if the Mavericks are going to retire his jersey when it's all said and done. That's what I'm curious about.
So that's my goal.
How do you address the criticism that's followed you on your way out about concerns about conditioning and durability?
it's a motive. I know it's not true. I know, but it's a motive.
I mean, he's not in great shape, but he also took the team to the finals. They're not going this year.
I say, I came here, one of the biggest clubs in history of sports, so it's a big motive.
Man, I'm really, and I'm not saying it's to kiss his ass and simp, but I'm inspired by how excited he is.
For a long run here.
Over the last couple of days, I talked about your conditioning, but maybe your lack of defense. What is your commitment to being a better defender?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think this year I really stepped it up honestly, and it's just being more active, more vocal, and I think I did a step ahead this year.
I really think being around LeBron's really going to help him, because we already saw how being around Kyrie Irving helped him. So imagine LeBron.
But I need to do more steps ahead. So
good man.
That's what I'm planning on.
All right, I'm back on the Lakers train. You can call me bandwagon or whatever. I don't care. All right, what's going on with Anthony Edwards? What did he say about it?
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
In typical Anthony Edwards fashion, he had something funny to say in this.
I wonder if he swore and will get fined again.
Time it was about the Luka Dončić trade to the Lakers when Luka's only 25 and one of the best players in the league, and Ant said he was scared because Ant's 23 and he doesn't want the same thing happening to him. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, a little off topic here, but trade deadlines this week. You weren't here the other night, and the trade that kind of shook the whole NBA went down. What did you think of the Luka trade and your thoughts on just the business of the NBA?
They say that nobody knew about the trade.
I think LeBron did.
Yeah, so that's crazy. At 25, they traded probably the best scorer in the NBA at 25.
That's very humble of him to say.
And he didn't know about it. So it's a lot more digging somebody got to do to find out why he got traded. Because you don't just trade him at 25. He just went to the finals, you know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for Luka, man, because I saw some on YouTube that say he just bought a crib and everything in Dallas. So that sucks, man. That sucks.
Does it inform like...
And the prices in LA are a little different.
You at 23.
Everybody getting informed, yeah.
I was going to say, like,
I'm scared.
How you see the league.
I'm scared. Tim, hey, if you're going to trade me, let me know, dog.
That's pretty freaking good. And then the American Airlines Center where they played, the staff had to get rid of like the funeral setup outside from the fans.
Now to the Mavs trade that shocked the...
Man, we know what this sounds like when a reporter reaches the top of the mountain.
Now to the Mavs trade that shocked the NBA and fans everywhere. We're working to learn more about why the team traded Luka Dončić for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round draft pick. Matt Houston is joining us live outside the American Airlines Center. Matt, it still hurts. What have you learned, though?
This is very much like when LeBron left Cleveland.
Yeah, just about all you can do is let out a deep sigh like the one you just did. I think that's how everyone is feeling. You know, this time yesterday, the stairs leading up to Victory Plaza were covered in love letters, jerseys, candles.
You know, a lot of those side chicks were writing love letters.
Flowers. There was even a casket here for a few minutes, though it was apparently a rental, and the group that brought it took it away a few moments later.
Yeah, I hope you wouldn't pay for that.
None of that remains today. Just people wandering up and letting out deep sighs as you just did, looking at the Dirk statue, looking at American Airlines Center. We were there this morning as security staff cleared away the memorial, if you can call it that.
The boomers like really mad.
Early this morning, the banner.
Can you imagine getting rid of that while you are being filmed?
Bearing Luka's face came off Love Field's parking garages and the AAC around.
Yeah, the Lucas poster by the parking garage got taken down. Now it just appears empty.
Around lunchtime. So that is evidence that, yeah, this is really happening, believe it or not. Of course, Mavs fans are still wondering why. You tell us you're not satisfied with the explanation General Manager Nico Harrison offered on Sunday. We spent the day trying to reach the Mavericks' majority owner, Miriam Adelson, and team governor Patrick Dumont. We have not gotten a hold of them yet, but we did get a comment from Mark Cuban, and this is interesting. I asked Cuban, now the minority owner, how he feels about the trade, and what he would say to Mavs fans who are concerned, fearful that this is part of a broader effort to relocate the team, perhaps to Las Vegas. His response to me was short and diplomatic, if you will. He said, once an MFFL, always an MFFL. We'll have more on that.
All righty. Here is the fan that went viral yesterday.
All right, so we told you after this Luka trade went down that we wanted actual fan engagement, and we have a fan live in studio who made an appearance on our show, very passionate. Finesse Fave of Irving, you were out at the American Airlines Center. You're the reason why so many people were out there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. So you organized this thing or helped organize it? I definitely helped organize it. I went the night before at 2 a.m., which was just a couple hours after the trade. And I posted on my social media, guys, come out for a protest. And this is just a couple hours after, people are just hearing the news. So I know it was kind of late in the night, so we decided to reschedule till 12 p.m. the next day. So we came at 12, and it was already a big crowd going. And, that's the footage that you guys saw was all from that day.
And I was listening to your interview from yesterday. You're a lifelong Mavs fan. I mean, I would think you seem to be one of many, many fans that just is absolutely gutted by this. Can you just describe how you're feeling? Has it settled down at all or not really?
At this point, it has, yeah. Obviously, I went through the 5 stages of grief, right? So at first, it's denial, right? We're like, yo, he must have got hacked.
Yeah, right.
There's no way this is real, right? And then you start thinking you're getting angry, like, why would this happen? Why would this happen? And then, at this point, obviously, we have to accept the truth that he's been traded. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
What are you going to miss most about Luka as a Maverick?
Miss most as a Maverick.
I don't know, him taking you guys to the finals.
The thing about Luka was that he's invaluable. He's homegrown. It's not like somebody that just signed a contract with us. He's homegrown. Ever since he was 18, he's been in the city of Dallas. He's almost like the face of Dallas. Everybody in the city loves him. So, nobody in the NBA, I feel like, as somebody living in Dallas, nobody in the NBA is more valuable than Luka Dončić for us.
That's a good point. Here is Meta World Peace talking about it.
Luka's a star already, right? So it's not about coming here and being a star. Who knows what the plans are, right? Because we're not in the front office of any of these teams, right? But you do have a Luka with LeBron. That's a big high celebrity team. And you got 2 really good players. It's really interesting.
Yeah, how long until Luka's dating like a singer or whatever?
And I think the question is, does he come here and win a title here in Los Angeles? That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-494-6773. All right, that's the coverage today for the Luka Dončić trade. Nico Harrison, you're a scumbag. Burn in hell. All right.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.